Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. The very first boxing bet for Drake was on February 26, 2023, where two undefeated fighters faced each other. Tommy Fury, who was 8-0 at the time, fights the problem child Jake Paul, who was 6-0 at the time. Despite them being undefeated, they have some of the dumbest resumes ever in professional combat. Drake put down $400K on Jake Paul to win. Not just to win, but to win by KO. Very insane pick where it had the probability of 27.8% of happening. And Drake's wish nearly came true. In the last round, Jake dropped Tommy with a crazy slip jab. This was exactly what Drake needed because Fury threw nearly double the amount of strikes than Jake. So he needed that knockdown to be the TKO. But sadly, he got back up and won via split decision.
To the winner by split decision, Tommy!
Meaning that's $400K down the drain for Drake. Just like my previous video about Drake's MMA's bets, I will keep track of his boxing wallet with each upcoming entry. So far, he is minus $400K. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. As mentioned before as well, I would like to shout out the people who actually gave out this information. It was Stadia Agency who collected all of this data and displayed it on an official website called thedrakecurse.com. Yes, thedrakecurse.com. This guy is paying monthly for a website domain to publicly shame Drake. I cannot do anything else but respect it. So the next fight was in 22nd of April 2023, just 2 months later. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan the King Garcia, both also undefeated and fighting for the belt. This was for the WBA regular and the WBC interim lightweight titles. Drake put down 4 betting tickets for this. Yes, according to this website, it is all separate. That's very strange. In my last video, people have been saying Drake was betting in crypto, and the betting slips are just the equivalent at the time in USD. So I guess that's why these betting slips are created this way because, you know, it's more efficient. I don't know. Or maybe Drake is just dumb as shit. So he bet $15K on Davis to win in round 1, which had a 3.8% of happening, and then also bet $15K for him to win on round 2, which was a 4.5% of it happening, and then another $15K for him to win in round 3, which had a 5.6% of happening. And for his last bet, he bet $1 million for Davis to beat Garcia, which was a 72.5% chance of happening. During this fight, Davis was clearly the better boxer and finished it with a TKO in the 7th round. It was a body shot that sat Garcia down and he couldn't get back up. Yeah, a lot of casual fans didn't really understand and they got freaking mad. They clearly have not been punched in the liver before. So the first 3 bets of Davis winning the early rounds didn't happen. So Drake is $45K down from that, making his wallet minus $445K. And now we move on to his winning bet. He put down $1 million for Davis to win in general, and he got back $1.38 million. So that is $380K profit. So his wallet is now minus $65K. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. Looking back, why the fuck did this fight even happen? The record maxing of Jake Paul is insane, but he knows what industry he's in, so I can't fully blame him. He fights old man 38-year-old Nate Diaz in a professional boxing bout. The weird part was Drake betting on Nate Diaz to win. He was the people's champ, but I didn't think people will actually bet on Nate winning though. Drake put down $250K on Nate to win against Jake Paul in any way, any method, which had a 25% chance of happening, which obviously did not happen. But Nate Diaz lost in Nate Diaz fashion, where he basically lost no aura, no matter how embarrassing and how dominating the fight was. He got his highlights in, and that's the end of that. The Drake curse is a bit stronger in boxing than it is in MMA. So Drake lost $250K in this fight, meaning that the total wallet is now minus $315K.
How many rounds do you think you won?
Get the fuck, you didn't win.
Logan Paul versus Dillon Danis. To be honest, I don't even know if Drake and the Paul brothers are even friends. I think Stake or whatever betting company just wants the social media attention that Drake is betting on this fight, just to promote the fight. Drake might possibly not give one single fuck about boxing, but is sponsored, so, you know, he does it anyway. Or I could be completely wrong also. Logan Paul faces Dillon Danis, which you can tell it was going to be a shit show. Danis was just doing whatever he can to win and just grabs Logan. And at the end, they did some McGregor versus Khabib Temu edition brawl that got security coming in. So Dana's lost via disqualification if we are being specific, but Drake bet on Logan Paul to win by KO, and the bet won. So it's a little bit confusing. I'm just going to assume that the betting slip just meant by finish. And I guess in boxing, if you say by KO, it can also mean by finish. So DQ and doctor stoppage can also count. Therefore, Drake put down $850K and got back $1,351,500, which is a $501,500 profit, making his wallet now a positive $186,500. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. This entry saddens me. Francis Ngannou was known as a great puncher in the UFC, so seeing that and also, post Tyson Fury was a bit devastating. Drake bet on Francis to beat Anthony Joshua in any way, which was a 32% chance of happening. Sadly, it did not happen, and Francis got knocked down and then knocked out. Drake laid $615K on that fight, and of course, he lost that money, making his total betting wallet back to minus $428,500. Fury versus Usyk. Finally, a fight between two freaking boxers. It has been a while. Two undefeated champions fight each other for the WBA Super, WBC, IBF, WBO, IBO, and the ring heavyweight bout. That's what the wiki says. But anyway, the fight ended with a split decision. Tyson was winning the first portion of the fight, but Usyk showed more durability and had a sharp adjustment, winning the last few rounds in dominant fashion, making Usyk the winner by split decision. Yes, you already know who Drake betted on. He puts $565K on Tyson Fury to beat Usyk. Damn. Crazy fact too, this is the only boxing bet Drake lost where he bet on the favorite to win. It was a 56% chance of Tyson winning, so Drake took the rational decision this time here and still lost, making his total wallet minus $993,500, nearly $1 million in debt because of sports gambling. Let this be a lesson for you young ones watching. Don't play with money unless you are rich enough to not care about money for the rest of your life. Paul versus Tyson. What a joke of a fight. They really shouldn't allow betting in this fight, mainly because Netflix was the streaming platform of this bout, meaning that you will see the most obvious outcome, Jake Paul by decision. But I was actually super surprised on the amount of people who thought that the old man Mike Tyson was going to win. Do you know how quick you age in this sport? Just 1 year post-prime is enough to end your career. But who am I to rant? I'm just making a Drake shaming video right now. Paul bet Mike Tyson via unanimous decision. And you guessed it, Drake bet on Mike Tyson to beat Jake Paul, which had a 35% chance of happening. So it wasn't the craziest thing Drake has done. He laid $355,000 in that fight and lost it, making it a total of minus $1,348,500. Okay, Drake has lost 8 of his 10 betting slips in boxing. He is super cursed. So let's do a small recap. Over the 9 bets he has wagered, $4.08 million, it has returned $2.73 million. So Drake, please don't bet in boxing again. It's for your own good.